Hi everybody, welcome to Om Sweet Om. I'm yoga instructor Alison Schuster, and today we're talking with Justin Heinle. Hi Justin.
Hi Allison.
I know, we're glad to have you here. This is
Glad
exciting.
to be here. Yeah.
Well, this is the January episode, right? So everybody is maybe happy with their holiday choices, maybe they indulged too much, but they're looking to turn the page and start anew. And that's where you come in, because you're a personal trainer, and we're gonna start talking about what it is you do. Let's start with what you do. Let's start there, and then we're gonna talk about the philosophy and hopefully give some of our viewers a little motivation for the new year.
So what I do is personal training. And I get a lot of questions from people at the holiday parties and about this, and they might see me eating snacks. Like, oh, you do that? Like you eat,
you
eat sugar? Like, wow. Like I thought that was bad for you. And there's all the labels on good and bad and what it is that I do. And I'll get questions about, hey, did you see like that ketogenic diet thing? Or I heard weightlifting does this for you. And my answer is always the same. I'm a personal trainer. I'm not a Google machine.
Right.
So if you have general, broad questions, Google it. It's great stuff. It's all kinds of information. I do personal training, so I get to know an individual, and I find out how can I coach them on nutrition, on movement. It's not proper form. It's your anatomy, your body, your mindset, and that's what I really thrive in. That's what I do, personal training.
And that's probably why you and I connect, is because I believe in that mind-body connection with yoga, that it's not just about the body, it's about how you're processing all of this in the mind as well.
Right.
So that is a big part of what both of us do on a daily basis, is working with not only the physical, but also the mental. And that's where we can start talking about motivation, right? So how do you motivate? What do you do to get your clients to reach their goals? Where do you even start?
I find out what story they're telling themselves.
Tell us about that.
So we all have a story that we tell ourselves about our body weight, about our knee pain, about our shoulder pain, about our anxiety, or about the labels that we've either given ourselves or other people in our lives have given us. Find out what stories you're telling yourself. And the stories that people tell you on day one are never the real stories that they're telling themselves. So we just dig. It takes time. I tell most people I don't really start coaching you until at least 6 months, maybe even a year in. It takes a year for me to get to know the stories you're telling yourself, rip that layer away. What's the next? Oh, that's the real story. Or even stiff tissue. You know, whenever people start training just physically, there's all kinds of stuff. Oh, my hamstrings are tight. Well, there's a deeper level of connection with your body that we get rid of that stiffness. And we find out there's some other things going on underneath that had nothing to do with your tight hamstrings or had nothing to do with this tight neck. There was another story there.
And you and I talk a lot about those stories being rooted in fear.
Yes.
And what is that fear? What is the fear behind the stiff neck or the knee or the hamstring?
Right.
Where does that come from?
So my business is called More Human. And the general idea of how I got there was that we could say there's consciousness and subconsciousness in the brain. And the consciousness is our decision-making, that kind of prefrontal cortex region of the brain. The rest of it is kind of subconscious, driving all these decisions, deciding what tissue is going to be stiff, how I'm going to protect, whether I want to get out of bed that day, whether I need all these things. And if the system feels threatened, if there's a fear because you injured your knee one time, and the doctor told you your knee will never be right? He's a doctor, he said so. Or because your mom told you this when you were a little kid. Well, mom said so, and everyone believes mom. That story sticks with us, and it roots in fear, which means that human part of your brain, the reason we call it more human, is because you're being manipulated by the animal portion of your brain. So you're no more than just any other animal. And there's a huge human piece of it that's not being utilized. So we have to find out that story that the animal system is manipulating over the human part of us. And we find that root weird. It was actually a sprained ankle from whenever you were 6 years old that's causing your low back pain whenever you're 30, because it was just a little compensation here, a little compensation there. Let me shift and hide from this. Let me not do that. Oh,
you're babying it.
I'm babying it. I always have to tape it. Oh, I ice it when it hurts. And it becomes this very layered story that we end up unwinding all these stiff layers of mind, body, spirit together. And that's the stories that we're telling ourselves.
And it affects your choices. So if you have that ankle, then maybe you're not going to try the yoga class. You're not going to try maybe the running class. You're not going to try something new,
right,
because it's now affecting the choices that you're making.
Right, you hold back a lot. No, I have this knee thing. I don't do that.
Can't go to ballroom dance.
Can't go to that because this knee thing. So now, and a lot of times you'll hear people say like, I don't even really like that anyway. You've created this story that you don't like new experiences because every time you experience something new, weird, your knee hurt. Mm-hmm. So now because the knee hurts, because the doctor told you it'll never be right again, or because you just have bad ankles, you've created this layered story that now stops new experiences, which something that you told me before the interview started. You love getting people to try new things, new experiences. Right. And we create our biases out of our stories. So you're creating the idea that you don't like running because you're just really bad at running.
Right.
And it's the story that's been being told, the stiff tissue that's been created, the poor nutrition that's coming in, that's changing energy systems. Like those are the roots that it takes time to get to, because we have so many layers and delusion. It's even hard that's why I have a coach, because
right,
I don't have full clarity, and I need someone poking at me to get the truth out of me, to get the real story to be told.
And I think people are always shocked when they find out that we have coaches and instructors as well.
Yeah.
That these are things we all struggle with. Again, becoming more human.
Right.
Using all of our tools in order to evolve and change and grow. And as we look at a new season, a new chance to do that, this is the time to start thinking about those things and not judging them. And that's one thing in yoga that we talk about, and I know you do too. You're not beating yourself up for those things in the past. You're working through them now.
Yeah.
Right? Now's the time. Do it. Right? Now's the time to do it.
I tell everyone, if we found out, like if you left the training session and it felt good, but you wake up the next morning, all of a sudden your low back's tight or hurts, I said, that's wonderful. We just found something new. Like you learn to embrace the process of unwinding this stuff, because every time that you get super frustrated or some pain creeps in, or you got anxiety because of the way someone cut you off in line and it was a guy who looked like your dad and so it stiffened your tissue, and then you go to yoga class later and you're stiff the whole time and you're short with your instructor. Like these are the stories that unwind through our day. As you start becoming aware, it becomes exciting because it's information that you can now do something with. This thing that's been holding you back is about to open up the whole new experiences.
And affects so many of your choices. Now, I know you talk with your clients a lot about nutrition as well.
Yeah.
And making good choices, that all of these things are connected. So it's not just, okay, I'm gonna start a workout regimen, January 1st, right? Here we go. And I'm gonna make sure that I do that every day. But it's a combination of maybe how you're reacting to people in the world, in traffic.
Absolutely.
What you're choosing to put on your dinner plate. All of these things are working together. And I think that's what's amazing about what you do. It's not just, okay, we're gonna work out for an hour and focus on that.
Right.
It's about, let's see how all of these things combine to make you who you are, and finding your best you. I mean, that should be the goal every day, right?
Every day.
Is trying to improve and find that best you, so that you feel good and so that you have strong relationships and a strong body and a strong mind. I mean, I think all of those things are combined in this philosophy.
Yeah, and what we do, it's simply mind, body, spirit, right? And I tell everyone, like, I've yet to meet someone who doesn't believe in mind, body, spirit, right? So generally everyone, maybe there's one person out there that's gonna disagree with me, but the majority of everyone I meet, they're like, mind, body, spirit in some form or fashion. Maybe there's 5 things for you, but we all believe there's some sort of connection. So what I generally tell people is that they're all connected and we can make them all work together. So if you come in to train and we get you leaving settled down in your hips and your legs and you're relaxed in your shoulders, you probably go home from your training session and you have a little more patience because you're not stiff, right? So now you treat your significant other a little better. Well, then you guys kiss each other, go in the bed. Cool. So now you wake up in the morning, you probably feel a little better because you fell asleep beside someone you love and it's all good. Then you probably go to work and you're in a little better mood at work. Then you probably work a little harder. You think a little more clearly. You start making a little more money because you impress your boss because of how well you're doing. Then you come back to the gym and you loosen up even more stiff tissue that's been restricting you. Then you go home and you have a little more patience for your loved ones. You can sit and do the homework with your kids a little longer. Now the kids appreciate you more. So now, and it just keeps stacking and stacking. And once you get the ball rolling, it just doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, and you're feeding those other people in your life,
right? And they
as
feed
well
you
as
right back.
your spouse, your children, the people around you, your coworkers. Everybody appreciates that, and can feed from that energy as well.
Yeah.
That goes a long way. People don't often realize that this is a domino effect.
Right.
Right. And we can domino one way or the other.
One way or the other.
Right.
It always goes. Every day you're building a story.
Right.
You're building your story. And you can choose which way we're going to tip those dominoes all the time. It's quite a fun puzzle that I do with all my clients, and I'm never here to be right or wrong. You came to me for my opinion, and then I deliver on it, and I'm more than happy to be wrong in it, but let's see it. Or let's see me be right, and eventually we find out what the truth was, because I'm just a part of the process with you. I'm not the guy, I'm not a guru, I'm not the guy with the answers. I just have a lot of experience because I talk with you about your practice and your journey. And I talk to the next person about their practice and their journey. So I've gotten a lot of inside stories, and I just use those stories to kind of put them against other people's stories, and we can all learn off of each other. So all my clients end up becoming a community. So I'll kind of know about, hey, this guy went through this little bit, he experienced this, and then I deliver it to the next person. And then they give me the feedback on that story in their life, and then I can deliver it to the next person. So all of us are connected in unwinding our stories and putting ourselves together.
What happens with the person that comes to you and says, I don't even know where to start. I've never worked out before. I feel like this is something I want to try. Where do I start? I
say, great. You are the easiest person to work with. Please tell me you've never read a blog post about health or anything either. Because a lot of the work that we do at the beginning is unwinding the injuries, or, a football player, he always worked one side of the line. So he's very right foot dominant. And there's a lot of twists to that. Or as someone who's lifted, they've gained some results. They have somewhat of an opinion already. So then I have to work with their opinion a lot more in the process. But the person who has no background, they don't read any health books or self-help books, they're great to work with because they don't have they're like, hey, I'm an open book.
We're starting at the beginning.
We're starting afresh, so.
No misconceptions.
Exactly, no misconceptions. Where do we start? We start anywhere you want. And generally it's just lay on the ground and put your legs up in the air and tell me how that feels. And so they'll just start getting simple exercises that give them an effect of what feeling is, because they're probably not used to feeling a lot, and that's what we get them to do, start feeling things.
So body awareness and movement.
Right.
Introducing movement.
Yeah, just, hey, what does this feel like? I don't know, this thing burns here. Cool, oh, great.
Then we're gonna start there.
Right, we're gonna start there. Hey, what if I do this? Oh, that burns here. Oh, cool, let's start building the process from there.
That's awesome, Justin. Yeah. Now, if people are watching this and they want to train with you, how can they get in touch with you? Where can they find you?
Well, I do have a website, livemorehuman.com. I do not update it very often. My information is on there.
You're training a lot, so you're not always on there.
I'm generally training and working. So, but I am on Facebook, Justin Heinle. Just find me on there, send me a message. Most people have Facebook. Instagram, Live More Human. You can DM me on there. And any of those places, just reach out and start a conversation. And
where do you train people?
I train people out of my house. It's a garage gym. So kind of picture Rocky Balboa scene of him going to Apollo Creed's place and just getting down and dirty. And it's funny that a lot of my people start with me because they're in chronic pain. And so it's kind of always the joke is that you're coming to like a dirty gym with goats sitting on the floor. We have ducks being raised in the gym right now. You're coming to a place
they train as well.
They train, all right, they're getting involved as well. You're coming to a place like that to solve the knee pain that the $1 million machines and the big UPMC facilities couldn't solve. And yet we're just doing it down and dirty and more human.
And then when you're in Zealand, when you're here, when are you here at Evolve Wellness Center?
I'm here at Evolve Wellness Center the third Wednesday of every month. And people work with Dr. Edwin for 30 minutes, and then they come see me for 30 minutes. And I always like whenever I get to build month after month after month with somebody to keep telling the story, because just one time doesn't do much.
Well, we're going to hope that people are going to hear this today and get a little motivation and seek out some new ways to move. we thank you for coming and talking with us today. I hope it won't be the last time,
No.
because we could keep going with this
Right.
for hours. So
And you guys can come out to more human compound one time, and
We would
we'll
love
see the
that.
animals in the gym, and
we
we'll
would
do it
love
there.
that.
Cool?
Would love it. I can do yoga out there. No
All
problem. No
right.
problem. But today we're headed out to Schroeder Restorations right here in Harmony to do a little yoga outside in the snow. I'll meet you in a moment on the mat.
Let's come to the top of the mat. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Bring the arms down to the sides. Another one, nice deep breath in and exhale. One more. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Bring those hands to heart center and all the way down. Forward fold. Nice deep knee bend. Wrap the arms around the knees. See if you can begin to gently straighten the knees. They don't have to go all the way straight. Just drop the head and neck. Then let's reach those fingers for the toes. Tuck the chin to the chest. And roll up one vertebrae at a time. Last thing to come up is the head. Now let's take a deep breath in and swan dive down. Big forward fold. Step the left foot back. Coming into our crescent lunge, can you come up on the fingertips, little lift in the chest? Maybe you stay there, maybe you take those hands to the thigh. Maybe you can bring those arms out into airplane wings, just lower the chest so it's almost touching the thigh. Nice deep breath in. Then let's use that exhale. One more, nice deep breath in. Then slowly bring those hands back down to the mat. We're going to drop the back knee. Bring those two knees together at the side of the mat. Coming up into Thunderbolt, tuck the toes in behind you. And we're going to grab two blocks. Bring those blocks right beside the ankles. Let's inhale, thumbs to the shoulders, reach for the sky. I want you to reach as high as you can. And then drop the shoulders down. Leave a little space for the head and the ears, but keep reaching with the arms. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, just a gentle lean into the thighs. Bring it back to center. Another one. Nice deep breath in, reaching up. And exhale, lean. One more. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, lean. Bring it back to center and bow down, reaching forward. Bringing it back to Thunderbolt, nice deep breath in. Reach for the sky. And on the exhale, little lean, take the hand to the block. Press the right hand into the block. Left arm reaches up. Maybe you can gaze at that left hand. Maybe you can lean into that back bend, drop the head. Then exhale, cartwheel those arms forward, bow down. Little counter stretch. Inhale, take the thumbs to the shoulders, reaching it up. Nice and tall, then exhale, little lean. Take the left hand to the block, press into the block, lift the right hand up. Maybe you can gaze at the hand. Maybe you can reach the hand behind you. Maybe you can even increase that back bend by dropping the head. Then cartwheel the arms forward, bow down. Little counter stretch. Let's bring those hands to the center of the straddle, hopping into your straddle. Nice deep breath in. And then exhale, release. Inhale, press to a flat back. Exhale, release. One more. Nice deep breath in. Then exhale, release. Holding that forward fold, maybe reaching out for the ankles. One more breath. Then bring the hands back to the center of the straddle and just walk to the opposite end. Coming into your lunge on the opposite side, let's bring it to fingertips. Maybe you can take those hands to the thigh. Maybe you can reach them out, big airplane wings. Nice deep breath. See if you can stretch those arms out. Little lift in the legs. And then exhale. Let's step those 2 feet together. Nice deep breath in. Bring it down to Katasana, chair pose. Let's inhale, lift and lengthen. On the exhale, swing the right arm back. Open up to the side. See if you can sink a little lower. Then bring it back to center. Taking the left arm out nice and wide. Sinking the hips. Hold it there. 1 breath. Then exhale, bring it back to center. Let those fingertips go down to the toes, forward fold. Let's inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway. Exhale, release. Plant those hands and keep walking those hands in a circle, coming to your straddle. Let's turn those toes out 45 degrees. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring the palms together overhead. And exhale. Take it down into goddess pose. Pushing the arms out to either side. Take a deep breath in. Let's drop the right arm. Left arm goes to the sky. Can you gaze at the left thumb? See if you can reach those arms 2 opposite directions. Stack the shoulders and bring it back to center. And dropping that left arm. Gaze at the right thumb as you reach it for the sky. Nice deep breath in. Maybe those hips can sink a little deeper. Bringing it back to center. And hands come to the center of the straddle. Let's walk those hands towards the far end of the mat. Step the 2 feet together. Back where we started. Nice deep breath in. Use that exhale. Little release. 1 more. Nice deep breath in. And then swan dive down. Forward fold. Bend in the knees. Let's see if we can put the fingers under the toes this time. And gently begin to straighten the legs. Drop the head. Nice deep breath. Then putting that knee bend back into the knees. Release the fingers from under the toes. Take a deep sun breath in. And then exhale. Bringing the hands down to the mat. Coming all the way to seated on the mat. And slowly lowering down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Setting ourselves up for bridge posture. Pressing into the feet. All the way through the big toe mounts. And on the next inhale, let's press the hip points up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Maybe it can rise up a little higher. 1 more nice deep breath in. Then slowly bring it down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's take that right foot. Place it on the left thigh. See if you can flatten the foot against the thigh. Now, pressing into the foot, lift those hip points, same level on each side. It might not go as high, but let's see what we can do. Deep breath in, reaching it up, and slowly bring it back down. Switching feet. Take the left foot, place it on the right thigh. See if you can press the foot, flatten it out against your thigh, and lift the hips towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. See if you can exhale, little release. 1 more nice deep breath in. Exhale, release. Slowly lower down. Draw those knees into the chest. Let the forehead come to the knees. Nice tight little ball. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let's widen out those arms into a T. Just drop those legs to the right side. Maybe you straighten that left leg. Let's see if we can get those shoulder blades back down onto the mat. Then slowly bring it back to center. Nice deep breath in. Let those legs fold over to the opposite side. Maybe you can straighten the leg. Let's see if we can rotate the chest towards the sky. Drop the shoulder to the mat. Another breath here. Then just drawing it into the chest. Nice deep breath in. Let's see if we can bring the forehead to the knees. And then exhale. Slowly bring those feet back down to the mat. Stretch out nice and long. Reach the hands for the top of the mat, feet for the bottom of the mat. Take a deep breath in. Maybe that right leg comes up. Maybe you can reach up. Put your hands behind your thigh. Interlace the fingers. Draw the leg in. And exhale it down. Inhale the left leg up. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh. And exhale. Release it back down. Grabbing on behind the thighs, just a little rock and roll back up to seated. Placing those fingertips behind your back side. We're going to press all the way through the heels. Make sure the heels are on the mat. Bringing it into upward facing plank. A nice deep breath in. See if you can press those hip points up. Drop the head. Just one breath here. A nice deep breath in. Then exhale, slowly lower down to the mat. Bringing it back to seated. And coming to a comfortable seated posture on the mat. Taking those hands out to either side. Nice deep breath in. Arms go overhead. Bring those palms together. And then exhale. Take them back down to the mat. Then let's inhale that right arm up and over. Maybe coming down onto the left elbow. Then exhale, release. Taking the left arm up, nice deep breath in, up and over, maybe down onto the right elbow. And then exhale, release. One more breath. Let's take those arms all the way up. Bring those hands to heart center. Gazing out over the fingertips, maybe lowering the gaze. And completing our practice here.
Start your new year by exploring your health and wellness in a new way. Find the light within you. Take it out into the world. Namaste.